Hello everyone, this is the evening block. We are at the Global Empowerment Summit, and today I have a special guest for you. This is Attila from Hungary. This year I'm bringing more of my Hungarian connections to Asia, so you can meet someone from my home country. Hi Attila, how are you today?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing very well, thank you.
It's really nice to have you here. I know you are very busy right now and going around through your company and visiting different cities in Hungary and meeting people and important contacts of yours. How can you make it sure that you are taking care of your health?
Look, that's a very good question. Thank you, and hello everyone, and good to see you over here. And thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about the wellness lifestyle. Look, I just came back from Romania. There was a leadership event. It was full on 3-4 days of. It was a similar topic about how to live wellness lifestyle, what we can do in order to boost our immune system. And I'm trying to, for the last 10 or 12 years, I'm fully focused on how can I boost my health, how can I boost my immunity, my vitality, and how can I share my experience with others. And this is my goal, this is my mission, to provide empowerment to the other people. And look, there are different things that I would consider when I am looking at a wellness lifestyle. It's a big topic to live a wellness lifestyle, isn't it? I would divide it into 4 sectors. First of all is basic, and the foundation is eating the right food and the right amount of food. I'm a big fan of the paleo diet and the ancient diet, so no grains and mainly just paleo, which is meat with vegetables. So right food with the right nutrients, very, very important. Reducing stress is extremely important. Doing breathing exercise, meditation, getting a good amount of sleep. Minimum 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours. If you've got a Fitbit watch, you can track your sleep as well, and you can make some adjustments. And reduce toxicity using all natural solutions for your body and in your house and in your home. These are the 4 things that I would consider when we talk about wellness. These are the 4 things that we need to focus on.
And now that everyone is online, do you have something specific because of the remote lifestyle that, for example, your tips from your family, how do you keep yourself away from the monitor, or do you have some, I don't know, in between workouts, or how do you keep yourself still fit?
Look, yoga is excellent. You don't need a big space. You just need a corner basically in your room or in your house or in your office. So yoga, stretching, a few weights are very important. You could use your body weight to do some push-ups, to do certain exercise that keeps the energy flowing. It also helps with brain health as well, and it gives you just energy throughout the day. So that's what I am trying. Sometimes I stop work and I do a few push-ups, do a few jump ups as well. Actually, I did a few jumps up just before this interview, just to get the energy flowing, and just to be in a bit of a positive vibe, to create a bit of a positivity.
It reminds me on Tony Robbins. I think he's using the trampoline now. Every session that they are just doing this.
Exactly. He's jumping down like for 2 minutes. He's doing his certain routines before jumping on the stage in order to create energy and positivity. People are attracted to positivity, and especially today's world, people want to feel the vibe. People want to feel the energy. They need to be lifted up. And hence it's very important. I think it's all about energy. I believe that you agree with me. It's all about energy. If you got a good energy, if you got a good vibe, you create a protection around your body and also around your mind and also around your spirit, and you can basically just get the chi moving.
I like this, get the chi moving. That's so important. That's really good. So tell me a little bit more about in which direction did you go when you were creating your business? Because it's a really interesting story that you have, and there must be some specific root cause behind it. Why did you choose this specific type of business and also this specific industry? And I'm consciously not telling which one because I would love you to tell it and explain it a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit of story about myself. I spend around 8 months in Australia every year, or 10 months in Australia, in Sydney, beautiful Sydney, Australia, and around 2 months, 3 months, this time a little bit longer, over here in Hungary, which is my birth country, which is my birthplace. When I moved to Australia, I was desiring a business that is about health, that is about sport, that is about wellness, and that is about community and helping others. I have got a sporty background. I was playing professional table tennis, as you guys in Malaysia. Table tennis is big, and also in China, Singapore, Taiwan. So I was a professional table tennis player. Hence, I was very interested and very drawn to natural solutions and sport and how you can stay healthy. My journey started with health and nutrition around 20 years ago. And I have basically decided that that is the industry that I would like to look in. First of all, because of my interest, because of my passion. And I see a huge demand and a huge interest from different people on how to stay healthy and how to be fully healthy and just feel abundant. And so we have realized that there is a huge demand and there is a massive need, and we found a company around 12 years ago that manufactures and markets and educates around essential oils. What are essential oils? Naturally occurring aromatic volatile compounds, which can be found in fruits, in trees, in herbs, and different part of the plants. So they are basically nature in its purest form, extracted, and can be used for mental health, for emotional health, around the house, for sleeping, for detoxing our body, for providing the good amount of nutrition. Basically, they could be used around those areas that are required in order to create a wellness lifestyle. And we started with this company. We became a franchise partner. We started with this company 10 years ago. And I decided to go full in. I wanted to create a business that provides not only abundance to my family, but also to other people, helping them to show a way how they can become healthier, but also providing a business opportunity for everyone in our community to create basically an opportunity that could be no borders, no boundaries. It could be a worldwide opportunity to create, whether online, utilizing the online space, utilizing offline space, face-to-face solutions, and just creating a community that helps each other, that lifts up each other by sharing knowledge and empowering others.
That's a beautiful story, and I remember when we met. I was back to Hungary a few months ago, and we met in our little hometown. And you gave me a little bit of essential oil. I remember still. You put it in my hands, and I was smelling them, and I have it still here. It's the wild orange, I think.
That's the wild orange, yes.
Ever since, I'm like using it time to time when I have to refresh myself. So it was really a nice tip that you gave me, and I really love the essence because I love the citrus, anything orange and lemon and all the types. So it was a really really nice touch, and it gives you some kind of. It brings you back. Like lots of people are asking, how can I be aware and in the now? But I believe when you are having these essential oils, you smell them, it's immediately bringing you in the now because of the smell and the sense that you have at the same time, right?
Yes, that's correct. Because Basically, there are nerves in your nose that are sending messages to your brain, which is connected to every part of your body and every cells, and sending different messages, sending message to the heart, to the gut, to the stomach, and to your blood, to your circulatory system, and basically to every part of your body. Whichever oil you use, that triggers a certain emotion and a certain message in your body. Currently, I'm using lemon eucalyptus, which is native to Australia and also native to Kenya, to Africa. And this is a very invigorating. It helps to open up the airways, so it helps with clear breathing as well. By providing clear breathing, it gives me plenty of oxygen. It helps me with thinking as well, to concentrate on you, Andrea, and just to be in the present, basically. They're very simple. They're very, very simple, but they can be very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And there are different oils which can be used for different purposes.
I have a very short question, because there are so many companies now on board for essential oils. So what would be your best guess how to choose a good one, how to trust these oils? Because when you first meet them in a shop, or someone is bringing you to these oils, what are the criteria that you have to check when you are, would like to start and integrate in your life?
Yeah, excellent question, because not every oil is considered equal, because there are a lot of oils out there, and actually 99% of different essential oils that you can find on the market today, they are loaded with additives, with alcohol, with extra oil in order to make it market much better, to create a certain profit on it. So the company that we have partnered up with, it's called Doterra, which is a Latin word. It means gift of the earth. And they market and they produce the purest essential oils that are available out there. No additives, no fillers, no harmful chemicals. So you need to make sure that the oil that you are using doesn't have any of the chemicals, no fillers, no additives, just the pure nature. So they were destined to use essential oils, were destined to use nature. They do not synergize with any chemicals. Otherwise, they are losing their power. They are losing their efficacy. So it is very important when you start using essential oils that they have to be pure and they have to be tested. Okay, so purity.
Do you see this on the bottle? When you, for example, get a bottle, then it should be visible on the bottle itself, or you have to research online? So what are the practical steps just to help the audience?
You need to, first of all, you need to do your own research. There are a handful of companies in the world that manufacture pure essential oils. All the other companies out there, and there are hundreds or thousands of essential oil companies that are not tested, they are not safe for ingestion, and those companies, unfortunately, are using harmful chemicals. And if you do not know how to use those oils, they couldn't be safe. So it's very, very important to choose the right oil with the purity and with the testing behind it.
I love it. Thank you very much for the tips. These are very, very good tips. You mentioned earlier 4 areas where we can think about our wellness, because today's topic is about choose the wellness lifestyle, right? The first one was nutrition, then you had sleep, you had stress, and you had toxicity in your home. And yes. I would like to focus on 2 things from this list, which is first the stress, because we have a lot of stress nowadays with all the family around, working remotely, even just not knowing what's coming up. So the stress is really important. Let's start with this one. So what are the tips that you could give that are helping us to take the stress better and to deal with the stressful situation better?
Very good question. Thank you for asking it, because it's probably the most important topic among all of them. First of all, I believe in nutrition, and I would jump a little bit onto nutrition. Having the right food at the right time and the right amount is extremely important, not to put stress on your body. Okay, so whether you're vegan, whether you're eating meat, it's absolutely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. But they have to come from organics. They do not have to, but preferably from organic source. And you need to have clean eating and the good digestion. So having a perfect digestion is very, very important. The gut and the brain is interconnected. So whenever you have some problem in your gut or in your stomach, it creates stress in your entire body. So it is very important to have the right nutrition with the good quality food. That's number one. Okay, work-life balance is also extremely important. There are some questions that are coming up. I believe that we will answer them at the end. So work-life balance, especially during these times, is very, very important. It's still one of my main challenge, because sometimes we work too late hours. Sometimes we do not have screen off time. So I start with a certain routine in the morning that sets me up for the day, whether it's yoga, whether it's stretching, whether it's a workout or going for a run. It doesn't really matter, but it has to be a routine. Okay, after you get a good night's sleep, have a certain routine, have have a good breakfast, a good quality breakfast, and after you start your work. I believe it's very important to switch off, because otherwise you will be overwhelmed, you will be tired, you will be exhausted. And so to switch off and have a screen off time at least 2-3 hours before sleep, not to jump in the bed with your mobile phone in your hand. 2-3 hours screen off time. So this is the basic besides nutrition. How to manage stress and how to during your working hours and working at home. Look, stress management, breathing exercise, having 15 minutes every 2-3 hours and just doing basically a breathing exercise, just a very simple breathing exercise. Okay, you breathe in, you keep the air in for 5 seconds, you breathe in for 2-3 seconds, you keep it in for 5 seconds, and after you breathe out for 4 to 8 seconds. That helps the nervous system to be calm and relaxed. Every 2-3 hours, I try to do, if I do not forget, I try to do this breathing exercise just to switch me off for 3-4-5 minutes. And it really helps me. It really helps me just to be present, to cope with stress much more, and to focus on the task afterwards. So breathing exercise, yoga, meditation, and I use a lot of essential oils, use a lot of calming essential oils. There is one on my table which is called Balance. It is a special patented essential oil blend from different oils and different herbs that work in perfect synergy in order to create perfect balance and just relieve stress in your body and also in your mind. So I use it on the bottom of the feet. I put it in a little diffuser and diffuse it during working hours. I put a few drops in my hand and just use my hand. If I could show you a little tip, if someone has got a good oil at home, pure oil, you put a few drops in your hand and just use your hand as a diffuser. Just put it as a cup. And just a few deep breaths and put the rest on the back of your neck. That also creates a certain routine just between work and between tasks. It helps you to relax and be more in the present, besides using these fantastic oils that are in this special patented blend.
I think that's a good time to answer the question, because many people are asking that, and yeah, there is this question whether you can apply these oils directly on the skin, or they are causing irritation, or Simfong is asking about allergic issues. So what would be your advice about this?
Yes, okay. First of all, if you're using pure oils without any additives, no harmful chemicals in it, just pure essential oil in its purest form, there should not be any allergic reaction. If your skin, we need to consider skin sensitivity. If you're using on a very sensitive skin, or if you're using on babies, we have got a baby boy who is 10 months old, but we have been using essential oil on his skin since birth. Basically, in the birthing room, we were using essential oils on him straight after birth, and he never had any allergies. But we knew what oil we use. We knew whether the oil need to be diluted. If it is a strong oil like peppermint or oregano or some of the spicy oils, and if you're using on a sensitive skin, you need to put it in a bit of a carrier oil, which could be coconut oil or olive oil, and you need to dilute them and apply them to the skin, and then shouldn't be any issue, and they could be used safely.
Thank you for the tips. And then going further, maybe we could also think about the other point here, which was not the stress, but the toxic things at home, because we are all the time at home, or most of the time at home since the last 2 years. So how can you reuse these things, and how can you replace cleaning materials or anything with essential oils, or give us a few tips about this.
For talking about toxicity, there is a very interesting article which talks about toxic ingredients in personal care, in cosmetic care products, and then average person puts around 70 different toxic ingredients in their body during a day, during a 24-hour period. That could come from soaps through to hand wash, hand sanitizers. Everyone is using hand sanitizers nowadays for the last year and a half, through to cleaning products, through to products that are helping with air quality, air conditioning, and so on and so forth. There are some amazing, very simple solutions with using simple ingredients such as hot water, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils that could replace pretty much 80 or 90% of your harmful chemicals and not personal care, but mainly cleaning products around the house. So yes, you need to know what you can replace with what and how you can use them. But the opportunity in doing DIY products is massive, and there are a lot of good recipes out there. We are posting a lot on our Facebook page and on our website as well. That gives everyday moms or everyday people who would like to run a toxic-free household, that gives them great ideas and great tips on how to run a natural household and a toxic-free household.
These are great tips, and I'm encouraging the people to reach out to Attila on Facebook or on any other platforms. You will find him on the speaker page on the website. So you just have to search for his name here under my camera or my screen, and then you will find him, and the connection is also there. So you just have to connect with him. Everyone who knows me knows that I love to empower people, and this is why I brought you into the summit, basically, and Doterra, the company that you're working with, because I believe the company is doing an amazing job in empowering women and empowering people who are not as fortunate, and they are just like having issues with getting back to the workplace, or they are just having babies and they cannot work, or in specific situation it's hard to start alone any kind of entrepreneurship, right? So Doterra is a company who's really focusing on empowering people through the essential oils and through the business that they can build up. And for me, it's the first company that is a very friendly system compared to other systems that are doing similar setups with the original pyramid style that can be very bad for people. But I found that Doterra is doing it in a very nice way. So could you explain a little bit more about your story, like how you got empowered through Doterra, and also what do you think, why is Doterra so special in empowering individuals?
Yeah, Doterra. So Doterra is a direct selling company that is open in more than 120 countries, including Malaysia, Philippines, China, and Singapore, and so on and so forth. Few other countries around that region. We got involved with Doterra 11 years ago. We were one of the first to start over here in Europe. We have realized a niche in the area where people need very simple, effective, and safe solutions in order to provide good night's sleep, to reduce stress, to reduce anxiety, reduce toxicity around the house, and just to create a wellness lifestyle. With its essential oils, nutrition, clean nutritions, women products, men products, and few other products. They have got an amazing portfolio to help in the area of health and wellness. Because of my background, because of sport and health and wellness, I was very interested in this industry. It's more than a $6 billion industry and growing significantly. Essential oils, they have been used for thousands of years. So they are not a new trend. They are not a hobo thing. A lot of people consider us hobos. We are not hobos. We have just realized that they have been used traditionally by Egyptians, by Romans, by Chinese. And with Doterra, they have put it in a modern coat available for everyone and every household who is interested to become healthier and to become empowered to take back the control of your own health. So what we are doing is basically, yes, we are providing empowerment to other people all over the world. We are in 25 different countries through our tribe. And we are running a business that could be run from all over the world, whether we are in Australia, whether we are over here in Europe, or if we have got work overseas at any other countries. Wherever we are, there are always people who want to feel empowered, who want to become healthier, who want to have less stress in their life. So the opportunity is basically it is global.
Thank you very much. For the treasure hunters, I have to say something for the audience. So for the treasure hunters, you have a QR code there, and I just put the secret code in the comments. So please search for the phone and scan the QR code and put in the secret code of this session and earn some points, because these points are earning you more than the usual because we are live now. So please do so if you are playing the treasure hunt game of the GES. So let's get back to you, Attila. We have only a few minutes left. If you think about Doterra, your personal story, the empowerment, what do you think how this kind of industry and this kind of business can help the young and the wise to earn some living, to start up their life, to kickstart something new?
Yeah, sure. I believe that there is a massive opportunity for everyone who is ambitious, who've got vision, who've got goal, who love to help others, who love to work with other people. To start with a direct selling company, there is a very low startup cost or a startup fee. Maybe it's buying a few products or open up a wholesale account. And the earning opportunity could be, basically, there is absolutely no limits. Okay, and the main benefit for us was it's not only in Europe, it's not only in Asia, it's not only in Australia, it's wherever we can reach out. With the power of internet, if you know how to use the internet, if you're on social media, and I'm sure you are because you're here at StreamYard and here on YouTube with us from Facebook, if you know how to use those platforms, and if you're good in online marketing, basically the opportunity could be limitless. Doterra is a very human company. It's 50% essential oil company and 50% humanitarian company, which is very important to me. They're doing a lot of good out there in the world. In 2020, the company has created more than 300,000 new jobs worldwide, and mainly in third world countries where help is needed. They are building brand new clinics in Africa. They are helping to stop human trafficking, human slavery as well. There are beautiful causes that Doterra has initiated, and we can all participate. And by purchasing a product, by using a product, we all contributing to something good that makes the world a little bit better. And that was a big benefit to me, and that draws a lot of people to this company. They not only manufacture the purest oils, but they are standing behind the cause. That makes a difference, that creates the world to a better place.
Thank you very much, Attila. This was just a short interview, but we will have you back at the immune system panel discussion very, very soon. And you will, I believe, share a little bit more there with all the other experts talking about how you can boost your family's immune system. And I believe this is some very, very good process for people just to restart after whatever happened to us in the last 2 years. So it's a great way to get a little bit of income and in the same time get a little bit healthier. So thank you very much, Attila, for sharing this information with us. And if you would like to reach out to Attila, the people from the audience like Roche and Sin and all the others, then please just search for him on Facebook and you will find him. And also you can connect him through the page on the website and the speaker page, and you can reach out to him. Just write GES 2021 and he will know that you saw him here. So Attila, thank you very much. I see already Eric lined up in the studio, so I have to switch you. Have a beautiful day and see you very, very soon.
Thank you. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I do a quick switch.
That was really quick.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste time because we have so much value to give. So we had a little bit of wellness session with Attila, and now we are venturing into the data field, which is totally a different field, and it's kind of like the other end of the equation. Eric, before we jump into your topic, tell us a little bit more about you. Where are you from? What's your favorite food? And what do you do in your free time?
Oh, that's some tough questions. Well, the first one is easy. I'm from Tilburg in the Netherlands. It would be weird if that was a hard question. My favorite food? I think I don't really have a favorite food. I just like to eat a lot of different kinds of foods and healthy food. I like healthy food, so maybe that's a good answer. And what I like to do in my free time, I like to run, walk, read books, listen to music, and work on some personal data projects as well. So it's both my job, but also my hobby. So that's always good, I think.
And I really love what you do. That's how we actually met, because we were meeting through a conference that I attended about marketing, and you were there, and I was like, I have to meet this guy because the approach that you brought to the table was so new, and I love music, and you were approaching data from the music perspective. Can you tell us a little bit about this and tell us why you ventured into these areas especially?
Yeah, I think what's interesting in this in our times is that like technology is really accessible these days. You can cherry pick any technology from any vendor you want and blend it in a certain way. And for me, a really important moment was, you already know, but when in 2018 Avicii committed suicide, I just thought, oh, this is the first time that an artist died, and it really hit me on a personal level. So I started thinking of ways to blend my passion for data analysis with a passion for music. And I never intended to have a specific result with that question. But I just started exploring technologies and ideas in that process. And that's just a really fun thing to do, because when you work on personal projects, you're just free to take any direction that you want. So if you just think something looks nice, you pursue the visual aspect of a project. But if you think you want to improve your data analysis, you can approach a different direction of the project. But for me, I just started approaching the creative aspects of data. And that's sort of a different path, because I think data is often seen as something really serious that we use to improve the business, to improve processes, to measure KPIs, to improve campaigns. But it's also apparently a sort of resource you can use to just generate creative looking visuals. And I never intended to pursue that path, but I just stumbled into that. And that's just really interesting, I think. Oh, you're still on mute, so I don't...
Yes, I will unmute you myself. So maybe later you could share with us some examples so that the people can see how it looks like. So there's an option to share if you would like to do that. Otherwise, what was it behind like the real process? Because we were talking about Avicii, we were talking about music, but how does it look like so that the people can grasp a little bit deeper? Like you take the data of the music, what do you analyze? How do you bring it into visuals? So what is behind the process?
Yeah, what's good to know is that, as I already said, it was never my intention to do it in a certain way, but it's always funny to look back at your process and just sort of say that you had a process, of course. But I really like, I once read a quote in a book, and that one really stuck with me, and that was that I think it was Nassim Nicholas Taleb. He wrote about unpredictable events and stuff like that, and he said like that people never set out to invent the wheel and then completed that project according to a timetable. Because if you invent something, you should not know what you're inventing. If you know what you're inventing, you already know what you're making, right? And you never completed according to a timetable. So for me, the process was really starting with an idea. So what if I blend this music with data analysis? And at that point in time, I also was looking for ways to apply natural language processing. So that's a technique you can use to sort of make a machine or a computer understand human speech. And I blended those two with a technology called sentiment analysis. And that allows you to extract the sentiment value of text. So whether a text is positive, neutral, or negative, and if it's really powerfully expressed or not. And the first thing I did was just do that with his first albums, the first albums of Avicii, and just plot that in a scatter plot. And that was really data visualization. But the funny thing is that when you have a result, you can share it with people. And I shared it with colleagues, with friends, with family, industry peers. And a lot of people say, of course, that music is not just lyrics. It's also the sound. It's maybe the moment when you listen to music. On a festival, it's different than when I listen to music with my headphones on at home. So I thought, okay, either I accept that my analysis is not so good and maybe redo the analysis, so really stick to the more serious part of data analysis, or I pursue the visual aspect of it because I like the way to just abstractly show a visual representation of a full album. And that's the path I started following after that moment, basically, where first it was just a scatter plot where I removed all the graph elements, basically, and it's just dots. But after that, I just started playing around with the technique. So also, I always had a bit of a struggle with, should I be able to explain this to people? Or should it just be something that looks nice? And now I need roughly like 10 minutes of a presentation to explain how I get to the result. But people generally really like the result. So I also included, I think, in my workshop in November, which goes into detail about in the process a little bit more. But I think for me, the process is just start with an idea, start working, and just really, especially with personal project, listen to your feeling, which is also a weird thing to say as a data analyst, because I should say the data never lies, always follow the data. But with personal projects, I think your gut feeling is really important.
So that's something very interesting, and we will deep dive in it in November at your workshop, because we will have a longer workshop with you where you will explain the whole process and people can do the same. But we also have something for the people who are watching us now, because we said, let's do the challenge. We don't know how many people will come, but at least we are launching it. So it's basically a challenge that you created for us, and we are waiting for people to join us. So if you are already a member on the website of the Global Empowerment Hub, then I created some challenges there. We have one for smiling, we have one for running, and we have one for data visualization. So you can choose the data visualization if you would like to try. But could you explain a little bit, because I wrote your descriptions there, what they should do, but what is exactly data that they can take, and what exactly they can do with the data to create a visual so that they understand more the challenge.
Yeah, for what I would like people to do in the challenge is to sort of also what I did with my personal project. So that was around Avicii, of course, but just to grab data that is meaningful to you, and it could be running data if you really like running. So you could even blend it with another challenge. So that might be really smart if you want to join multiple challenges, and just turn it into a visual that you like as a person. And that's basically all you have to do. So get data and turn it into something you just think looks nice. And if you share that with us, then we can maybe pick a winner during the workshop. But that's the basic idea I have for the challenge. So just try to sort of leave the business side of data out of it, and just get data and use it to generate a certain result. And it can be a graph, but you can also maybe just generate shapes with it and then blend it together. There's not really any restriction in the challenge, as long as you start with data. And I would advise to pick data that you have a personal affection with. It should be something you either like to do, or it should be an artist you like. It can be a book you like. Maybe if you're a bit technical, you can also grab text, for example, and turn that into data. But that's not necessarily a thing you need to do, in my opinion.
Or you can take your, I don't know, if you do a weight loss project or if you do a workout project, and you are just grabbing your data every time to time when you measure yourself, and then you take the Excel file and then you turn it into a data, very simple things, or running kilometers that your watch is logging every time, or your steps, basically, right?
Yeah, I think most watches nowadays, they have GPS, so you could even do a GPS visualization of your run in a maybe creative or minimalistic way, that you sort of see that it's a run, but you all the how do you call it, the axes and stuff like that, you can leave those out, but just grab data and see what happens. And people have, I think, a couple of weeks, so also try to just play with the idea a little bit, because with my personal project, it took me, I think, over a year to get to the cool image, but I'm still working on it now, and we're 3.5 years further down the line. So, and it's still not done. So don't expect to have the perfect visualization in a couple of weeks, but just have a starting point, and maybe that's a trigger for people to start using data in a different way as well.
That's amazing. But what was your story with the data? How did you got in love? I mean, I would even call you are falling in love with data, because for data, you really need to have passion. Sorry to say this, but I'm sick after 30 minutes in an Excel file. So how did you get this feeling, passion about data?
Yeah, for me, I never also intended to be a data analyst. No, it was never my intention. I did a study on, I think in English it's computer science. So I basically had 3 sort of fields of expertise that I was trained in, and that was communications, design, and programming. And I had maybe 1 class for a semester that was about infographics, I think. That's the only thing I really had with data visualization. But when I started graduating, I did a project on influencer marketing and data visualization, and that was back in 2012. So influencer marketing was already a thing back then, apparently. But that was the first time I really started working with technology to make my own data visualization. So I did a lot of research on influencer marketing, what it is, how you can recognize influencers in a network, and on data visualization. So back then it was another open source solution that I used was D3.js in JavaScript. And I basically made a product that allowed you to find influential people on Twitter. So you fill out a keyword, and then it shows people with either a lot of connections, so they have a really big audience, or a lot of interactions, so they resonate within their audience. And if they're users that are both have a big network and they have a lot of interactions, then they appear in a sort of top 3 list. And that was the first time I really got my hands dirty with making a data product. And that project actually got me into contact with a data department of a marketing agency. I also did the graduation project there, but for a sister company of the big company. And then I thought, well, I never thought about being a web analyst or website analyst, but let's just see where this path ends. So I started talking with people, and I just started liking it more and more and more. And that's how I stumbled basically into the world of data, I think. And I started doing website implementation, so measurement implementations for a lot of big brands in the Netherlands. And it was really a fun time because the technology was quite new back then. Also, running like performance marketing campaigns was a new thing. So we were one of the first agencies that really said, we know how much money we make by putting this much money into advertising. Now it's quite common, of course, to measure your campaigns. But that's how I sort of stumbled into the world of data. I think it was never my intention, but the one thing that helped me, I think, was just have an open mindset to just, when people are interested or say, hey, maybe you like this, the first thing you should do is investigate to see whether that's true. And 9 out of 10 times, it's often true, at least for me. So, yeah.
So thank you for your story. And please, the audience, if you are watching it on the replay or if you're watching it now live, we will keep this data contest open until the end of the year, just like the barcode or the QR code contest with the treasure hunt. So you will have time to create these images. Although, if you would like to get Eric analyze your data and the results that you create, then you can get ready until November, until the last week of the summit when he has his workshop, and you can show it live there during the workshop, and Eric will tell you a little bit about it, gives his insights to you, and you can get a little bit of feedback. So it's all up to you. I put the links to the challenge into the comments. The only thing that you have to do is to be a member of the website. So just sign up as a member and you will see the hub. And under the hub, you will see these challenges popping up. And Eric, my last thing is that data, this industry of data management and a lot of things around how people are using our data now, I saw also things which are very exciting, that you can sell your data yourself as a decision and earn money automatically. I will definitely put one opportunity like this on the hub so that I can show the people the positive side of data management and all this, that you can now actually decide to sell your data and earn money for the advertisements that they are doing with your data, right? So there are these kind of platforms and you can earn blockchain. I mean, not the real currency, but even in the new currencies. So why not? So what do you think about the future of the data industry? How is it and how easy it is to venture into this industry?
Well, I think venturing into any technological industry is more accessible than ever because there's a lot of knowledge available about basically anything on the internet. So the internet is a really wonderful place if you want to learn a lot of stuff. But I think also the challenge for the future of the data industry, I think, is the internet is also a horrible place nowadays because there's a lot of echo chambers, of course, and people, if you look for something, you just, you keep on finding what you've looked at before. I made a switch personally from the Google search engine to the DuckDuckGo search engine. It was really hard because Google does a really good job at showing me results that I like. And DuckDuckGo requires me to put in a bit more effort if I want to get a good result. So I think I'm really curious. I don't know how it will end up, but I think that's the big shift that's happening because you see that basically all the big privacy legislation is giving even more power to companies like Facebook and Google because they have logins, so they can track users without other technologies. So that's a really big asset that they have. On the other hand, you see that Apple is really making their phones more privacy friendly, and they keep on improving that. And there are probably other actors. You have browsers that are really protecting privacy. So there's almost a sort of privacy war going on between a lot of the big tech companies. And I have no clue where it will end up. But it's interesting that yesterday I was at a local library and they were talking about technologies that they basically said people in the Netherlands, they are dependent on big tech companies in America to have contact with their family and friends online because everybody uses Facebook and stuff like that. So why do people in the Netherlands need like a big corporate organization in the US to talk with their aunt? I don't know. That seems weird, right? So there are initiatives popping up that take back control of the internet. Basically, they try to fix the internet. So that, in combination with all the privacy stuff that's going on and the war between Apple and Facebook and Google and stuff like that, or the war, it sounds easier like that, but I think it's just a really interesting space to be in. I have no clue where it will end up, but I think if you want to learn something, I think the good thing nowadays is that you can find basically answers to all your questions on the internet. Also, when you start working with data, when I first started programming in data, my first searches were always how to do this thing that I do in Excel in Python. And then people already ask that question and I find the answer. And that's just beautiful, I think.
That's what I do every single day ever since I started this summit.
Yeah, but that's like how to do this thing that I know in one tool in another tool. And I usually, for programming, you end up on Stack Overflow, and people just, the answers are already there. That also makes me think I have no original question to ask for this programming language. But I think that's the cool thing about the internet. There's all the information of the world is available at your fingertips. But you should be a bit wary of the actors that try to influence what you're looking for.
Yeah, the manipulation, I believe that's a very, very broad topic, and we could just do a separate summit on that,
yes.
Like how people manipulate people and how you cannot really protect yourself nowadays because you don't really know what's real and what's not. So yeah, it's a different discussion, but I'm really happy to have you here. Now we are starting a workshop very, very soon in the GES workshop room. So I will say goodbye to you, and it was a really nice warm-up conversation before your workshop. I hope the audience will take the opportunity and go to the links here and do the challenges under the hub as a member, and maybe you will find that data is your love and you will be someone working with it and having a future and your financial basically independence from being a data analyst, right? It's possible. Yep. So thank you very much, Eric. See you very, very soon. And I'm looking forward to a workshop. Have a beautiful, it's late afternoon for you, and then a beautiful evening. And thank you very much for joining in and being on board.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you, guys. And thank you for everyone watching, and have a beautiful evening. See you in the workshop room. Don't forget to log into the GES Zoom room. Zoom, American company, right? We are connecting the world. Bye-bye, Eric.